Good morning everybody. So it's still dark outside and let me just show you my little dog because she's so cute. So every morning she sleeps downstairs in the kitchen, and every morning when we get up and go to the gym we wake her up and bring her upstairs for a quick huddle, and it's cold at the moment because winter's coming, so she hides herself in there. Anyway, off to the gym. I'm filming today because I've got quite a cool thing happening which I'll tell you about as I do it. But yeah, I have to go do a workout. I'm not really awake yet, I have to be honest, and it's still dark and cold and ugh. Let's go. Okay, I'm back from the gym and I feel a bit funny still. I nearly passed out, which I think I've told you this before, happens sometimes with me. My mum has this thing, I forget what you call it now, but it's basically low blood pressure to the brain. So she's totally fine and healthy, but you know if you stand up too quick you get lightheaded. She gets it all the time and so do I. I think she has it worse than me, so if she starts working out with like much intensity, especially with like up and down movements, and all the blood sort of leaves your brain. Anyway, I did circuits today, so once a week I try to do a lot like some cardio circuit things, like full body movements, just to burn a bit of fat, get my heart rate up and stay fit and healthy. And the last thing was sprints on the wood weight, basically treadmill, and I really went fast, and I finished, and I went, oh okay, time to take a second. So I went on my hands and knees and took some deep breaths, but then I just kind of rocketed up and stood up, and straight away I felt all the blood leave my head, and I went, whoa. And I could actually feel that I start to go a little bit dumb. I have less oxygen, less blood in my brain, and I start to slow down a bit, and I can feel that people are talking to me and I'm not really talking properly back. I'm not making a great deal of sense. So I have to lay down with my legs in the air to get the blood back in. But I had to lay there for like 5 minutes, and everyone was like, it's really embarrassing. So I was like, are you okay? Are you okay? And I was totally fine. I just know that I need to take that time. Anyway, now I'm back, so I need to have a protein shake to get some sugar and stuff in me because I still feel a bit sort of shaky and wobbly. And then I'm going all the way to East London, really far East London actually. I live West London and I got to go really far across. It's going to take me ages and I'm in a bit of a rush to get there. But I'm doing this really cool thing with Percival. Now this isn't like sponsored, I'm not getting paid for this in any way whatsoever. I just really like them and they got in touch with me and I was like, this is a great idea. So Chris, who is the guy behind Percival, which by the way is a very cool British brand. I've mentioned them a few times on my Instagram, talked about them a few times in videos. I've actually written something about them in GQ, which comes out I think in the next iteration. All this coincidentally, and then he got in touch with me the other day, and he wants me to sort of design with him two items, outerwear items that are going to be available, like a special Jim Chapman bit, which I think is really super cool. I'm actually going to have some food and tell you about it in a second when I make a bit more sense, because I can feel that my brain is still not quite working properly. Here's the dog for cuteness. Hi mate. Hi, so I'm in my bedroom now. Excuse the mess, I'm in a bit of a rush, and excuse the dog on the bed. I had a banana and a protein shake and now feel much more myself. Currently ransacking my wardrobe trying to find inspiration, and I'm going to tell you why now. Before I do, let me just say that I'm really lucky doing this job. I get to work with some of the best brands out there. And I always will tell you when I'm working with them in what capacity, if I'm sponsored or it's an ad or something, because I'm really privileged to be in the position I'm in where some of the best brands out there get in touch and want to work with me, and I'm proud of that, so I want to talk about it. This one's slightly different in that this brand got in touch and have just offered me something a really cool opportunity that I want to do. So there's no money involved, it's just a really cool creative thing. So the brand's called Percival, and you've probably seen me talk about them quite a lot. They've come into my life maybe in the last 6-8 months, I've just discovered them. And Chris, who is the guy behind the brand, got in touch once and sent me a few items, and I love them, and I really love what they stand for. They're very British. Everything's made, as much of it as possible is made in London. And I've mentioned it on my Instagram, I've mentioned it on my YouTube channel. I've actually written a thing in GQ, which comes out in a month or so as well. Don't know if Chris knows that yet, so if you're watching this, Chris, hi, you're in GQ soon. But coincidentally, he got in touch with me maybe like a month ago, saying he wants to work on this thing with me, and I think it's such a great idea, and I'm really excited for it that I've jumped on it. So basically, he wants me to go in and design 2 pieces with him. So they're going to be 2 outerwear pieces, which I think are going to be ready in time for Christmas, which is a very fast turnaround. I think because they're made in London, they can get it done quite quickly and have it back around. So today's our first sort of design meeting. So I'm going to go through my wardrobe and find things that I really like fabrics and cuts and that sort of stuff, and use it as inspiration. So far, I picked up this bomber here from Oliver Spencer, which I'm obsessed with at the moment because I'm into the velvet thing. It's a really beautiful sort of burnt orange type colour. I might take some suede with me. I might take some slightly different shapes, maybe not bombers, maybe like blouson type things with a collar. I've got some more coats through this room here. But these are sort of like heavier winter coats, but I've got lots of nice shapes and fabrics in there. Like this thing I got recently is beautiful from Private White, and it's got like a shearling collar on it. So I'm gonna fill up a bag and take it with me. I just think it's such a cool thing to do. So this is our initial meeting, but I'll keep you posted on everything. So you can, you know, stay tuned, and if you want it, hopefully you'll be able to get it in time for Christmas.
Do you know that would work? It's so simple and so wearable, quite chic. Something like you could just do, because this is quite a short buttoned.
Yeah.
Right, I'll put it
What's
on
the cotton?
Yeah, so this is
Yeah.
a 12, so this was more of a summer piece.
Yeah.
Mid-weight vibe.
It'd be really nice in that, I think, actually.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's nice.
Most things I wear are, basically my entire wardrobe is made of basics. I have the occasional thing like this,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Everything else are basics, and I just know that I can pick two things that are basically random, and it's going to make a cool look.
Yeah, I mean, because mine is too full of stuff like this. So when I come to wear it, I can't put anything together.
Right.
Just because when we do a collection, I'll just take the orange thing, or like a yellow moleskin,
Right.
and then it'll come down to it, and I can't wear anything.
Mm-hmm. I hear.
But yeah, this is really nice. So this, what do you think of any of these colours? Are you favouring the navy?
I also like this green. Oh yeah, that's
More like this.
Yeah, that's very
So we just tested it on this run of trousers that's gone down quite well. But we bought a whole roll that we can use, and it's a nice weight as well. Like it's just stiff enough for a jacket. So this could be. We've actually already got this in. We haven't found anything to use it on yet.
Okay.
So that's the thing.
Yeah, and actually, where's the one gone? I think I prefer it because that's a bit sort of now I'm looking a bit purpley.
A bit winey.
A bit winey, yeah. That one's nice in that colour.
So that's gonna keep you warm.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. And thinking about lining, do you sort of favour a pizzazzy, spicy lining, or are you more sort of?
Well, I like to be able to wear them open, and I think if it's too much in the inside, people are like, I like the outside of your jacket.
Can you close it forever?
Yeah, then you have to zip it up or button it. So I think I don't mind a bit of something. It's got to have a line of kind of cool and classy, and that you can wear it.
Okay.
Well, that was very cool, wasn't it? I don't know what you saw, because I had someone just filming behind the scenesy type stuff. Because I walked through the door, said hi, and then we just got straight to work. So I didn't really kind of get my camera out and start talking to you guys, because they were also filming things their end too, because they're making a video out of it. So I couldn't really break the moment, you know what I mean? But that's really cool, and actually super fun. I've always wanted to design stuff, and having all those fabrics in front of me, at first it's quite daunting. But as soon as you narrow down your vibe and what you're looking for, it was suddenly really simple. And I've got two things I'm making, which I think are going to be really, really cool. Well, first one is a beautiful sort of burnt reddish, sort of similar colour to that jacket I showed you earlier, but a cord, button down with like the sort of the blouson shape with a collar, and I'm going to get some contrast, sort of navy blue lining on the outside of the pocket. It's going to be really cool, I promise you. And the other thing is a single-breasted peacoat, sort of like this. So the collar up, we're going to get some shearling on it. Navy, because it's the sort of thing that's going to be a little bit more expensive, that one. To be fair though, the prices aren't that bad, but it is going to be a more expensive item from them. But with like shearling on the collar, and because it's a little bit pricey, I want it to be something that people can invest in and have forever, rather than buy it and then only wear it for one season. So it's super simple, super easy, goes with lots of stuff, and yes, now they just get made. And because it's such a quick turnaround, they're going to get their cutter that comes in, or their pattern cutter to come in today or tomorrow, and they're going to have like a sample of each within a few weeks. That's crazy. And then assuming that I like them, they're going to go straight to production. I think we're going to keep it quite small, so we're thinking like 30 or 40 per item, and that's a really cool thing about Percival. Actually, they make a lot of their stuff in small batches, and in fact, when you buy something from them, if it's from one of their small batches, which most of their stuff is, it will have a little stamp on the inside saying this is number 6 of 30. So yeah, I'm really, really excited for that. I'll keep you posted on everything as it happens, but watch this space. Oh, other news, big day for me today. I'm also, can finally tell you that I am the face of Hugo Boss's new watches. So I shot this back in, I don't know, like earlier this year, like it was months ago, and haven't been able to talk about it since. And the pictures, I've only just seen the pictures sort of yesterday, and they're amazing, and there's a video clip and everything. If you go on the Hugo Boss website, I'm there, looking all cool and watches and stuff. I'm going to put a link in the description box. Please go check it out. It's super amazing, and it's actually one of the coolest things I've worked on. I had to keep quiet about it for so long, and now I can finally tell you. So, yay! I'm on the move. So, last time I spoke to you, what was I doing? Just heading back after the Percival thing. After that, I went to the post office and sent a bunch of my books off to my friends and people who haven't received them yet. So, basically, for the launch of the book, I had like 40 copies that I got to send good send-outs to people who got like little gifts and things. But there's still loads of people on my list who I work with quite often or who I'm friends with who didn't get one, so I actually went and posted them myself. And then I went to Nando's and just devoured so much food because I was really hungry, but didn't actually chew it, I don't think, because I was just really starving, so I just wolfed it all down, and now I feel a bit funny. And now I'm off to Hackett for a fitting. Oh no, quite bad stuff. So Hackett have an event tomorrow with Mr. Hackett, Jeremy himself, so it's only polite that I wear their stuff. So I'm now off to get fitted for it, and hopefully they can turn it round by tomorrow, so I can go to the event. It's like a really intimate dinner. Apparently there's like 3 VIP guests, one of which I am, which is very cool, and then lots of press and stuff. But I like the Hackett team, so it'll be really nice to catch up, and I haven't seen them for a while. Georgia, who I talked to from Hackett quite a lot, is lovely, so it'll be really nice. Now off to Regent Street, which is about 5 minutes from where I am, maybe 10 minutes from where I am. This guy's driving the wrong way in the one-way system. I'm going to use this time to escape. This Uber, this guy in the Prius, which I'm assuming is an Uber. I can see a little Uber sign. He's taking a right when he can only take a left. Whoopsie. Fitting time. I have this really beautiful Prince of Wales suit on. It's a little large right now, but we're working on that. So I'm sort of between a 38 and a 40. This one is a 40, but 38s don't really exist in the right length for me. So we've got a 40 regular here. We're going to lengthen the arms, pull it in around the waist a little bit, tighten the trousers a tiny bit, and then alter the length. And I'll be good to go. I'm home, and I've come down with a really nasty headache. I never get headaches. I can't remember the last time I had one, but I was in that fitting for maybe like 45 minutes, which is actually longer than usual, but because I'm the last person to get fitted, a lot of the sizes that I would normally be have gone. So I had to, so usually I'm like a 38 long, and I took a 40 regular then, which then had to be altered quite a bit. Anyway, I could feel a headache coming on when I was in there, and on the taxi journey home I was thinking, God, my head's really, really sore. And now what I want to do is kind of go into a dark room, but I've got stuff to do. I can feel it around my eyes and around my jaw, like here and here. It feels really weird, and I just maybe it's because there's like a storm coming or something, because I can just feel pressure. Anyway, I plan to get back and do loads of writing on my film. So the last sort of 3.5, 4 months, I've been writing the treatment for the film, which is basically exactly how I see the story and plotting it exactly right. And for the last sort of month, I've been on the actual screenplay, which is really exciting. And I set myself a challenge to try and write a scene a day, but that's already gone well out of the window because it takes at least a day to write a scene. And when I'm doing everything else as well, as it isn't enough time. And I plan to do loads when I got back today. But actually, on the journey home, I got an email from someone. I'm writing an article for another magazine called You Magazine. Actually, it's a really nice article I'm writing, but I got feedback on it, and they want me to make a few changes and you know, sort of fiddle with things a bit. So I'm going to actually sit and do that because there's a deadline on that, and then I would really like to do some writing on my film. But I don't know. I can feel this headache getting worse, and I don't know if I should push it and be staring at my screen. I do need to get the thing done for UMag because that is urgent, but everything else, I guess I'll see how I feel. I just feel I kind of want to lock myself in is that a migraine? I want to lock myself in a dark room. I feel like migraines are much worse. I've never had a migraine, but I feel like that's sort of debilitating, and I'm not that bad. I just feel it's something's happening in my head. Anyway, let's get some work done. It is 6:15 now, and I think I'm going to call it a day in terms of work because I can't stare at my screen anymore. It's making my head hurt. I finished writing another draft of the article for UMag, and I've sent it to the editor. So he might give me another round of notes, but I think it's quite a long one. Usually when I write for GQ and stuff, I've got like 500 words, but this is like 2 solid pages of A4. Don't know how many words. In fact, let me open it and see how many words that is. How many words are you? No, wrong one. I opened the wrong file. Whoops, this one. You are... How many words? What does it say? It's like 1,300 words. So, quite a lot to write. That seems like not enough. 1,700. It's just loaded. 1,700 words. So yeah, that's not too bad. There might be some more work to do on it, but I think it's pretty good right now. So I guess we'll see. I'm not going to do any writing on the script just because it was 6:15 now, and usually I work much later than this, but my head hurts, and also I shouldn't work much later than this, so I'm going to stop. But I do kind of want to show you it. I don't want you to read any, but I'm just really proud of the way it looks. So let me show you my screen here. So here it is. I'm not going to pause on it because I don't want you to actually be able to read any of it. I don't want to give anything away, but look how much I've written. I'm so happy with it so far. It's still early days, I'm still on Act 1, there'll be a lot to change and everything, but I've written so much of it, and that is like an actual script. Isn't that so cool? Like, you know, you could read that like a film. I just think that's so exciting. Again, it might not go in fact, the chances are it won't go anywhere. If it does go somewhere, that'll be bloody amazing, because you know, writing films is a real thing, you know, and people have it as their job and work really hard on it. I don't know if I could just waltz into it and go, here, I've got a film, make that. But I really enjoy doing it. So I guess watch this space, I'll keep you posted. I'm going to go downstairs and chill now because my head hurts and I'm going to sit in the dark room. I actually really want to play Destiny. I'm obsessed with that game at the moment. Tan's having a nap because she's learning lines. Isn't it funny how I'm writing films and she's learning to act and everything? She's had about 3 auditions in the last sort of week. And she's been learning lines, and I've been running lines with her as well. And it's actually really exhausting, especially if you're trying to learn a few scripts at the same time, because you've got to get in different headspaces, and remembering words and delivering them right is actually quite tricky. So she did a big old slog at it earlier with her friend, and then had to have a nap for an hour, and is now going to, after her nap, when she's refreshed, go back to it and actually film some of the lines for a tape and send it off. So that's cool. So while I've got the house to myself, I'm going to go play Xbox for a while, I think, which is probably not good for a headache, but I really want to play Destiny and shoot some bad guys. Me and Tan are obsessed with Cocoa Pops at the moment. We never really have cereal in the house, but the other day she just really fancied it, and then she bought some, and we have got through most of this packet in like 2 days. We just keep going back for more, and we've got a rule: if you've got milk left when you've finished your actual pops, you can go and refill. But I just had my dinner and now this is my dessert. I'm so happy. It's time for Destiny, everyone. How cool does my character look, eh? Level 285. Boop. I'm about to play with my brother. He's just invited me to his team. Joining fire team. He's just invited me to his team. I can't speak to him yet, but I will be able to soon. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here because I'm going to go shoot some bad guys now. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.